Yeah, $1 million for Bitcoin. Walk us through your thesis of how it could get there.
I just don't think that enough people have a big enough imagination of this upcoming cycle I'm expecting. I mean, the bond market is in trouble for really arguably the first time in modern financial history. Bondholders are getting absolutely demolished and crushed. Now, David, who owns bonds? All of our banks. So our bank deposits aren't there because the bonds that were purchased with my deposit is underwater. And so if central banks and government is going to try and save that market, the amount of liquidity that's needed is going to send assets very high. I mean, you can try and do napkin math. And I joke, like, how many COVIDs are we going to get if they try and bail out this market that we're in today? You may get two, three COVID. So if that happens, it's impossible to speculate on an asset as scarce as Bitcoin. But I think 250,000 to a million is the imagination I have in that range of just how big this can get. And that's based on all the liquidity that's going to be required to make this market solvent.
Is that based on a steepening of the adoption curve, which we'll talk about in just a minute, or is that just based on normal market action, like more liquidity, like you mentioned, in the natural course of time just passing? Like what is a catalyst is basically what I'm asking.
I think all the above. Well, we're talking about pricing Bitcoin in a piece of paper that's being actively debased, right?
Okay,
So
sure.
maybe a more interesting question is, how many houses can I get for my Bitcoins in a year?
Yes.
But given the fact that it is in dollars, I think that's where your imagination has to go insanely high because of the predicament that the government is in. On the other side of that, though, on the talk of adoption and just the notion of it, I think price is the most accurate KPI we have into Bitcoin adoption. What price tells me is a rather accurate measurement of how much of the world is using Bitcoin as money. And so I expect more of the world to take on Bitcoin as money, whether it be for any form of use case or value to them, because it is so appealing and solving so many different problems. So I expect adoption of Bitcoin as a monetary unit to go up. And
Mhm.
then against the dollar in particular and other fiat currencies, I expect it to be violent to the upside.
Happy Bitcoin Tuesday, freaks. It's your host, Odell, here for another Citadel Dispatch, the interactive live show focused on actionable Bitcoin and freedom tech discussion. That intro was our boy Jack Mallers. I always mispronounce his name. Um, and I warned him not to make a public price call. I learned my lesson last cycle, but he did. So it was important to start this dispatch with it. So we have a record of it going forward. No more price calls for me. Just stay humble, stack sats. It's been a big week. We had a great rip yesterday with Carlos. We have a great rip tomorrow with Ben Ark. A little blitz week of dispatch. But today's episode is going to be a great conversation. I'm really looking forward to it. We have our boy Kieran here, uh, prolific Noster developer. Has his two main projects are Zapstream and Snort. How's it going, Kieran?
It's going pretty good. Happy to be here.
Thanks for joining. I just want to do a quick uh, thank you to Kieran and to the freaks. I know I said that we were going to start um, like 45 minutes ago, but I had ran into some babysitter issues, and my babysitter was late, and Kieran was really good about it. So life comes at you fast, but we're here, and we're going to have a great conversation. Kieran, we have a lot to talk about. I know Kieran is one of those humble guys that, like, when I asked him to come, first of all, I had to like seduce him to get him on the show. He refused. He said, "We have nothing to talk about. What is there to talk about?" I think we have plenty to talk about. But I would like to start with Zapstream. It's a project that I rely on heavily. We've moved, the majority of the dispatch audience watches and interacts live with Dispatch through our Zap stream. You can get to it at citadeldispatch.com/stream. It's got Bitcoin built in. It's got the nice live chat. First of all, thank you for building it. But how do you think about Zapstream?
Well, I guess Zapstream kind of was just like another random idea, same as Snort. It was more like I wanted to try and build something. I didn't really have any like grand vision in the beginning, because even originally the live streaming stuff was it was actually embedded inside of Snort originally. And then I'm like, maybe I should just make a real like Nostr client for live streaming, because people seem to like it. And that's kind of where it started. And then it's kind of just been growing and growing, like all the different feature requests people have been asking for, and kind of just aiming for, feature parity with Twitch is basically where we're aiming for. And I think we're pretty much there, I guess, in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, I think first of all, I think there's like a order of operations here, and I think you kind of nailed it. The freaks are having fun. The stream chat is literally just Zaps right now, except for one guy. There's an order of operations here. It's like you build out a really nice web video client that is it is literally going after Twitch, right? I had a lot of trouble naming this episode, but I just named it Better Twitch, even though we're going to talk about a lot of things, because I do think it's significantly better Twitch. Twitch being the video streaming platform that Amazon bought. But then you start with that, a client that is incredibly focused. And then, I mean, the dream for me, and we see it in Amethyst, we see it in Snort, I assume we see it in a couple other clients that are not on my radar. The dream is that it then gets integrated after the fact into all the major clients, right?
Yeah, like Nostrudel, I mean, Hazard implemented it pretty quickly because he was like, this is great. So, and he also does that with a lot of other stuff, like the torrents as well. So Nostrudel is like the ultimate toolbox, Nostr toolbox, because they pretty much implements everything. And yeah, Amethyst as well had it pretty soon after. I think that's the only major like social Nostr clients that have it. Not aware of any others.
So, I mean, I had Hazard and Stu on a couple weeks ago, and they were talking about the Blossom spec. Do you have any thoughts on where Zapstream falls into that conversation?
Well, funnily enough, I'm actually building a Blossom server right now in Rust. So I'm kind of trying to see where we can take it, for at least from my project perspectives. Like with Snort, we already support like NIP96, which is very similar kind of file uploading spec to Blossom. So yeah, it would be cool to support it in Snort and maybe on Zapstream as well. My goal
go on.
my kind of immediate goal with Zapstream is to build like this new backend in Rust. And the main purpose of that is to obviously learn how to do like heavy media processing, at a scale that at the scale that Twitch is at, basically. Like how do we scale Zapstream, and also to kind of help with the decentralization of Zapstream.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously easier said than done. It's been a business that's been dominated by the big boys because it's quite expensive.
Yeah, so the angle that I'm kind of going at here is like a marketplace of Zapstream providers, pretty much. So this kind of backend will be, hopefully, anyone can run it and they can offer their own streaming backend on Zapstream. And then obviously there'll be like a reputation that goes with that.
That's pretty cool. So like if we had a falling out and you didn't like me anymore, I could still stream.
Yeah.
Because like right now I'm just beholden on you providing it.
Well, I mean, you can still host your own stream. There's like the manual stream option. So
Right.
like you can just link to some other platform. So it's basically that. It's basically the manual streams, like, but someone else's backend, like a another paid backend that's not the Zapstream backend.
Well, so let's talk about this a little bit. So one of the things that I've always been fascinated by is simple solutions to hard problems, and or simple mitigations, because it's almost never a full solution, but rather more of an improvement. And one of those things is this idea that one of the reasons that like Twitch, YouTube, YouTube's owned by Google, Twitch is owned by Amazon. One of the reasons, and obviously Spotify is the elephant in the room on the audio side. One of the reasons why we see these kind of media platforms and streaming platforms centralize is because of the massive costs, um, uh, massive costs associated with operating them. And what happens is the users are used to uploading for free, so the platform has to then take on that burden early and forever, and then they try and monetize from ads or user data harvesting or something like that. But you took a distinctly different approach. The broadcaster, me in this situation, has to essentially load sats into my account, and then I pay for every minute that I broadcast. I think that is quite clever, but I am curious. Does that actually cover your cost, or are you charging too little?
The way that I calculate the cost is like, I'm basically targeting for a certain number of 24/7 streams. So like I say that if we can have, because I only have a certain amount of capacity as well, like in my actual servers where it's deployed.
Got
So
it.
hopefully that will be increasing, but in the current setup, it's like I can only like one stream with all of the different like qualities, like the 720p and the 1080p and the 480p. That uses about like one CPU on average. It depends on the bitrate, but usually around one CPU. And I have around 30 or 40 CPUs. I can't remember. But so basically I worked it out like, okay, if I could have, I didn't want to have the full server like killed by streams. So I said like if I can have like 10 or 15 24/7 streams, like how many sats would that be to cover the server cost? And that's basically how I worked out the pricing. So obviously right now there's like some of them are on the cheaper rates, like the ones that are like 24/7, they usually use the basic rate, so that's only like 1 sat per minute. But this stream and like people who stream regularly, they usually use the higher rates, like the good rate or the best rate.
Wait, what rate
So
am I on?
this is the best rate. If you don't have recording, it's the best rate. It's
Okay.
called. Yeah, there's 3 different rates, which people really get confused about because they're.
Dude, I'm a power user. I had no idea there's 3 different rates.
Yeah, the basic rate is like no transcoding, so like it doesn't use any CPU. So that's why I'm like, just have it at 1 sat per minute. So it's pretty much pass through. So if you upload like a 720p stream, that's what the viewers will get. Like we don't actually transcode the video. So that's like a cheap way for people to run 24/7 channels like No Good and
Right.
Lightning, the jukebox one. Yeah, there's 3 rates which you don't actually see now, because originally it like used to have like all the rates on display and people got really confused about the different rates. So we're like, okay, we'll just let everyone use the best rate, because probably people don't want VODs maybe most of the time if they're just doing like random testing. So it defaults to the good rate now. So that's the one you see. But if you go into settings, you should see the 3 of them.
Yeah, I might have went into settings at one point and saw like I was on best, and I was like, well, I don't want anything less than the best.
Well,
And
that one has recording, yeah.
Wait, so do I have recording enabled?
I'd have to check your last one. I don't know like right now what you're using, but
God, it's like a live tech support show. Zapstream. I'm checking.
if they have a
Settings.
recording, basically, like if you go into the old video and it starts playing, then that's the best rate.
I'm on best. I see I'm on best.
Yeah.
If I'm on best, does that automatically record or no? Is that separate?
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
So then it should be recording, right?
Yeah.
Profile. Meanwhile, I just go and upload to satellite.earth afterwards. Anyway. Oh yeah, they're all here.
Yeah. So there's like, it's stored, like I said, it's storing like 90 days, I think.
1,
So
2,
after
3,
90
4,
days, it gets
5.
deleted. Because I have like 7 terabytes of recording already.
Yeah, that's
Need to-
insane. You have 23 past episodes and 2 clips of dispatch on your servers right now.
Yeah, I think it might still show them even if the like recording is deleted.
Oh,
Yeah.
it does?
So yeah, I think if you click onto it, it'll like just say offline or ended.
Offline doesn't work. Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe not. Oh, but this one says ended. So maybe they aren't recording. Do I have to toggle something?
Well, I guess it depends what you set up in Restream. Like it won't show you what you're currently using pretty much on the settings. It'll just say like these are the options.
Wait, on Restream I can set recording?
Yeah, you set like the URL is like for the different variants, the different plans. So if the URL ends with like the RTMP URL, that ends with slash live, I think. Yeah, or live 2. Live 2 is good and live is like best.
Oh, yeah, I think I use live.
Yeah, so that's best.
But so then it should be recording, but it's not recording.
And it isn't. Maybe it's just slow.
It says
super.
ended.
Yeah, super long recordings. It might take a while to actually start
Yeah,
playing.
I mean, I'm kind of DDoSing you, making you learn by fire. Okay, well, enough of that. I mean, I think.
No, it is there. Yeah, the recording is there.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, I don't know why it should be playing that.
What, did you check the last one with
Yeah.
Carlos?
Yeah.
This is great. I love the live tech support episodes. Thank you, freaks, for sticking with us. I mean, that goes to my next question though. How do you feel about recordings? Like, I'm loading up you have 7 terabytes. Like, the people don't realize this. Like, I went through this pain with Bitcoin TV. It gets expensive pretty fast, and then I guess auto delete. Right? You said 90 days.
Yeah, 90
Kind
days.
of
Yeah.
handles that.
Well,
But, like,
that's only
that's gotta
recent.
be. Is that where the majority of cost is on the actual recordings and people playing back the recordings afterwards?
Well, I mean, I have like a certain amount of capacity, so it's not really costing me anything for storage because I'm already paying like a flat rate.
Okay, got it. But then
So
it would hurt concurrent streams if people are watching the recordings at the same time or something.
not really. It's just served from like a different place. So
Got
it's
it.
like some disk load, but like nothing.
Oh,
nothing
because
crazy.
you don't have to do any transcoding at that point.
Yeah, it's literally just like giving you the stream as it was sent to the server. So it's like an identical copy of what you pushed to the Zapstream backend. Then we just save it and then replay it.
Got it. I mean, so that's, if we want to talk about Blossom, to bring it back to Blossom, right? Like, that's the beauty would be if that recording was then recorded per Blossom spec. So it was hashed, signed by my pub key, and then after the 90 days, maybe another server picks it up if it's a worthwhile piece of content, right?
Yeah, like we could have, instead of like pointing to my recording backend, you could like point the recording to your Blossom server.
Yeah, that's badass. Then that would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
only somebody would build it.
Well, I'm not the builder. I'm the supporter. So I have nothing I can say except I would love it. It would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what we can do with Blossom. That's why I'm building something. I'm trying to upgrade. Basically, I have this file host Voidcat, which is like the default on Snort, and yeah, I kind of wanted to. It's built in C#, and I kind of wanted to make it like more efficient because it's not very efficient in how it's, because we're doing like media compression.
Right.
But I wanted to do it like in a more efficient way, and I wanted to support Blossom. So I figured, and I'm kind of on this like this Rust learning mission right now to get better at Rust.
What's the best way to learn is by doing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, freaks, as always, I mean, now more than ever for this rip, but feel free to put any questions you have for Kieran in the comments. I see a question from Cypher Citizen that I get a lot. Currently, there's no way to rewind a live show, right?
No, it only gives you like the last, like, I think 60 seconds in the playlist. So, I mean, technically you can, like the segments are there, but the playlist only tells you that there's like 1 minute of video. So you can't actually go backwards.
And is that a technical limitation on how you have it set up?
Yeah.
I mean, but right now what I see a lot of freaks do is they'll come in, they'll be like, "Oh shit, I'm late," and then they leave the chat for Zapstream up, and then they go to YouTube. They go back to the beginning on YouTube, and they
Yeah.
do like 1.5x or something to catch up, which I guess works.
Yeah.
Hacks all the way down.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe with the new backend, we could support that.
So anyway, Kieran, you make all this sound really easy, which I'm sure it's not. What are the biggest, besides this backend that you're trying to make more performant? What are the biggest hurdles that you're facing on Zapstream build out? Like where are the pain points?
Um, I think, I mean, what we have right now is like, it's pretty straightforward. That's how I feel about it anyway. But like, we have the stream events, we have this hosted backend. I mean, it's pretty much straightforward. But if you wanted to do like more advanced things, and this is kind of the same problem we have across all areas of Noster, is like, how do you actually curate the the right content for the view, like the person, or like how do you show relevant things to them?
Right, webs of trust.
Well, yeah, webs of trust is one. But even like popular games or popular categories is something I want to build as well. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm looking at right now. Is like, can we follow categories, or can we show categories which people are used to watching, and like who's streaming in those categories, and also for people coming to the site, like how do they know what to stream, like what game to stream, for example. And we could show like, okay, this category or
On
this
like the
game.
broadcaster side, you mean, right?
Yeah. Well, it'll be on the viewers will see it as well. It's like, in this game, the X amount of sats has been zapped, basically.
Oh, you'll get more money if you stream this game.
Yeah, basically. So like, if you go into like the categories, it doesn't actually show you like the whole game list right now, but we could do like a list of the people who are live right now and what games they're playing, and then show like, okay, this game has like 10k sats and this game has 5k sats, and then you can kind of work out like, okay, maybe I should stream that game because people seem to like it, so it gives a bit of a feedback for people who want to stream. They can see like, oh, I could earn 10,000 sats playing this game.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I would also like, I've been with Dispatch. Dispatch is a pure value for value show, and value for value, at least for the way that Adam Curry explains it and markets it, I guess, is this idea, right, that the user, you're providing the value, and then the broadcaster provides the value, and then the user, after the fact, is kind of choosing what kind of value is provided. But one thing which has been a rough road, and I think just in general, it's probably just really early. I mean, we don't have that many Bitcoiners, and then there's like a subset of that are actually, participating in like I always say, like Dispatch runs on the ride or dies, so that's a smaller subset of the overall listener base, and it's just going to take time adoption wise. But one thing I noticed that has found pretty good fit, and he gets a lot of sats for it, is Guy Swan like has this niche, right, where he just like reads other people's articles and books. And he has like on his website, what should I read next? And people pay like a decent amount of sats, like more than Dispatch makes, to to get up on that leaderboard to get him to read what they want him to read. And so it's a little bit different than like strictly value for value. It's value before value or something. I don't know. I don't have a
Pre-value.
term for it. But there's something there also with streaming, I think, right? It's like if listeners could tell me what topics, like right now it's Odell chooses what topics he thinks are interesting, and I'm just like making a guesstimation on what the audience wants to talk about. But if they had a way of essentially putting a bounty up, right? It's like if Odell gets Kieran on the stream, like he gets 200,000 sats or something, that could be really interesting. And then you could take like that's also another monetization path for whoever the Zapstream host is. I mean, if there's many Zapstream instances, like you're kind of suggesting, where they take a cut of that, pre-revenue.
I guess, yeah, you could have like a broadcast goal, because obviously you have like Zap goals that are like that you have at the top of the stream.
By the way, when I went to my past streams to see if there was recordings, I have only done one Zap goal ever, and the name of the goal was "Not sure how this works." LOL.
I remember that one.
It's the only time I've ever used Zap goals, but
yeah, Zap goals
I
are
guess
pretty
I could
cool.
do that. Like I could put a Zap goal up right now. Like, what do you want the next? Do you
Well,
want
you
the
could
next
only-
episode to be 2 things, right? I could put 2 Zap goals. Could
it
I?
only shows one at a time.
Oh, okay. I can't do
But
that.
on your profile, it shows all of your Zap goals. So like people could go to your profile and see like a Zap goal for, pod rip with X and rip with Y, and they could zap the goals individually.
Got it. I could put it on my profile. Yeah, so something like that, right? I mean, obviously you wouldn't want it to be in Guy's case, it's not even it's not custodial or anything. Like you're literally just zapping Guy. Like if he doesn't read the article, like he just rugged you.
Yeah.
And it could be the same setup. It could just be you zap me ahead of time if you want a topic, and then whatever has the most sats, like I have essentially a reputation agreement with the listeners that I will actually do the topic that they vote to the top.
Yeah. That's
like
a cool
that.
idea, yeah.
Okay, cool. And then the other thing I'm curious about on your opinion here in terms of discoverability and monetization, because I just love the idea of like open source projects that have some kind of sats flow, right? And it's one of the cool parts about you charging up front for those streams and potential Zap splits as maybe a revenue source for that, like kind of choose your adventure, what topics you want. How do you feel about me like paying sats to have like the dispatch stream highlighted?
Like a paid feature or promoted streams?
Yeah, like exactly. Like you're saying, like I don't know what streams to show new users that come onto the onto the website. Well, I want them to see Citadel Dispatch. So
Well, I mean, they're
would
pretty
pay
much going to
sats.
see it because like there's hardly anyone streaming.
Yeah, but let's say our dreams become reality, right?
Right.
And there's 1,000 concurrent streams, right?
Yeah.
Is that
Uh,
how do you feel about that? Is that taboo
mean,
or
maybe. I mean, we have like the Zapstream short URLs which are like paid. It's pretty much
Right.
the NIP5 for Zapstream. It's not really, you can't actually buy them on Zapstream. You have to go to Snort because it's part of the Snort backend that manages all of the NIP5 handles. But yeah, if you buy like the NIP5, you get like the short URL. So for this stream, you could go to like zap.stream/Odell and it will just redirect to like the latest stream.
And you just gave that to me because I'm your boy, right?
Yeah, I actually bought it, so I paid myself, and then on Snort on the back end you can actually transfer Nostr addresses. Like you can transfer it to another npub. So I just transferred it to you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
I just got a message from Kieran one day, and it was just my link. I was like, oh, nice.
I don't know if I did it for RHR as well. I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, at this point I just do the redirects. So
yeah, I think one of the one of the highest like referrals to Zapstream is like the Citadel dispatch link.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, proud to be of service, and I feel like Zapstream. Zapstream was built for me, and I never had to talk to you about it. I only discovered you as a person until afterwards.
Yeah.
Um,
It is kind of
and
surreal as well
yeah.
that like you're streaming on this thing that I just like made randomly, and even we had like some conferences showing on here. And when I was in like Nosterasia and it was like live streaming on Zapstream, I'm like, they didn't even tell me they were going to live stream on Zapstream. And then I was at the thing and I'm like, it's on Zapstream with like 100 viewers. I had no idea. And it was kind of surreal to like to see it grow like so quickly, you know?
Yeah, I mean, look, I just real recognizes real. You know, I always pride myself in in trying to use the best that's out there, regardless of direct financial incentive, which is one of the reasons why RHR never has many ad deals, because it doesn't matter how much you pay me, I'll just recommend the best. And for me, like, that's what Zapstream. Well, as soon as I saw Zapstream, I was like, I'm just gonna switch the whole stack over to Zapstream. And I kind of rugged the freaks because they were in the Matrix chat and we were using the Matrix chat. And then we have like a few ride or dies that still use the YouTube chat and no one sees what they say.
Right.
And I just did it. Yes, yeah, see, I just checked the YouTube chat, and one of the only comments in the YouTube chat is, "Why don't you put the Zap stream in the YouTube description?" Never mind, found it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have to do a little bit of proof of work to figure it out. Okay, I mean, I think that's enough on Zapstream. And this is a Zapstream conversation on Zapstream, which is kind of cool with the creator of Zapstream. It's rabbits all the way down. But I mean, you're doing more work on Noster besides just Zapstream. I guess Snort is the other big. Is Snort take up more of your time than Zapstream? It must.
Well, actually, I haven't really done anything on Zapstream in a while. The last thing that I've added was like the categories. And I added the withdrawal function recently, but it seems to be missing. I don't know how. So I need to look at that.
Well, like, I load up sats for my credits and like I can't get them out.
Yeah, like I added withdrawals, but then I tried to like look for the withdrawal button and it wasn't there anymore. I think I might have rolled it back by mistake. But on Snort,
Why do you need withdrawals? Fuck withdrawals.
I mean, if people come to Zapstream and they're like earning a lot of sats, you know, like because when you sign up to Zapstream, like if you create an account on Zapstream, it gives you like a Lightning address. It defaults.
It goes to their Zapstream account if they don't have a Lightning address already.
Yeah, like if you create a new account on Zapstream, it defaults
I didn't
to
know
like
that.
their. Yeah, so like basically you can like come to Zapstream if you never use Noster, create an account, and then like start streaming, and you can get zapped straight away. And it
Okay,
goes
so
into your
then they
balance.
should have withdrawals.
Yeah, that's kind of why I added it, because obviously if you're coming and loading sats, it's different. But
Yeah,
if
like
it's
I
like
always brought my own Lightning address to my Zapstream experience,
yeah,
which is cool that you can do either. I mean, I one of the coolest parts of how you built the site is that when I tell like non-Noster users, like, go to citadeldispatch.com/stream, they don't have to actually have a Noster account. Like, they can just do it in the browser when they come in. And
yeah,
I like that approach in general. So that makes sense that on the broadcaster side it would be the same thing.
yeah. I mean, you just come in, make a random account, and troll the chat. You know.
Like, we got the guys from the YouTube chat is now in the Zapstream chat. Love
There
to
you
see it.
go.
Shout out you, freak.
New npub.
Yeah, he made one on the fly. There you go. Okay, well, let's talk about Snort, but with I think I've told you this personally. Like, dude, Zapstream is it. Like, I'm glad you're focused on other things too, but like, Zapstream is one of the killer apps of Noster. It's gonna bring in a shit ton of new users. It's way better than the status quo. It's 10x better than the status quo. And I think it is like one of the most exciting projects on Noster. It's hard to compete with it. Like, you don't even have to be a Noster user to appreciate it. I mean, even in the way I have it set up, right? It's like people watching the YouTube never even go to Zapstream, but they are consuming the Zapstream chat, right? They're viewing the Zapstream chat. I think it's just simply profound in a simple way. That's the cool part. But let's
Well, I
talk
hope-
about Snort.
Okay. I was gonna like continue this upstream conversation, but okay.
What else do you want to talk about with Zapstream?
Well, I just
haven't we
was gonna
covered?
say like it's only gonna get better. I mean, I'm trying to make it better, but it's kind of hard to build all these things and maintain them.
That's what I'm
It's-
saying. Like focus.
I spent like a month on the new Zapstream backend, and I got like stuck at some point, and I'm like, I need a break, you know, because
That's fair.
yeah. But yeah, there's that. It's difficult. It really is difficult to build this. The thing I'm trying to build, it's not going to be like a few weeks or a few months. It's gonna take a while to build this because it's like much harder than what I have. You know, like what I have right now is like it's all like pre-built software pretty much. Like I'm using this streaming system. It's open source as well, but it's like a streaming backend, and that handles like all of the transcoding and the delivery of the stream. So it's pretty much like I have a few hooks around that system, and that's what does all of the accounting. But yeah, hopefully it gets like way more advanced because there's a lot of things I can't do with that system.
Like what?
Well, the clips is one obvious piece of crap feature that we have right now. Is like it's just really difficult to make clips work well, and it's like it's really hacky the way it's built right now.
Yeah,
Because-
clips are big. People like clips.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of things that I could build to make it like the experience way better and clips is one of them. Like you can share a clip now, but like clips don't really work yet. Like we have a clip event on Noster, like you could share that on another platform and they should be able to play it because it's just a video link. But yeah,
Yeah,
it just needs more work.
we have to take. This is something that like Freedom Tech devs have trouble with, and I'm not to single you out because I think you actually are a bit of an exception to the rule. But we have to take, we have to take inspiration from the dominant slave tech platforms, right? And like what works and what doesn't,
Yeah.
and then try and do it in an ethical way. And maybe some things you can't do in an ethical way, so you just don't do them. But clips is a big one. The other thing I see is raids, right? Like that's like a Twitch feature.
Yeah.
So how does raids work? I was, first of all, I named this Better Twitch. I've barely used Twitch. I've never consumed on Twitch. I've just previously broadcasted to Twitch. Now I don't anymore because AppStream exists. But raids is a Twitch concept, right? How does that work?
Yeah, I mean, I used to watch a lot of stuff on Twitch, so I'm
Nice.
pretty familiar with it. But yeah, raids is basically where, let's say, like you're finished your stream and like you want your viewers to like stay on the site. I think it's basically like Twitch trying to keep people on the platform. So they created this thing called raids where after your stream is ended, like you can redirect your viewers to some other streamer who's live right now, so they can like continue watching something else. And maybe it's your friend, and maybe you know that person, and
like we can all go into No Goods
Yeah.
radio after this.
yeah, like it instantly redirects you to like whatever you're rating.
So how do I do that?
If you go to the dashboard, it's there.
But if I click it right now, do I lose all my viewers and we just all go to No Good Node?
Yeah, don't start the raid right now.
Okay. I've kind of been too scared to figure that out. Okay.
Yeah, I usually raid like if someone is online, if like because I stream like programming almost every day on Zapstream.
Yeah.
Well, not every day, but most days. And yeah, I usually raid someone. Yeah, but I don't really have that many viewers. But when there is some viewers, like I'll try to raid someone too.
Where do I
give
see
them-
it?
If you're on the stream dashboard, there should be like a raid button on the left.
Okay, click stream. Oh shit, dude. The stream dashboard is dope. I've never been here live.
What the hell, dude?
Well, you got to message this to people.
I
This
told
is
you to
great.
check out the stream dashboard.
I got a lot of things going on. This is awesome.
It's even
Okay.
better when the stream is over, it shows you the summary as well. So it shows you like
I
everything
didn't
that
know.
happened.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and the
Okay.
dashboard like got a whole new revamp as well for new people. So like it brings you through this like step-by-step process on like how to set up a stream if you've never streamed before.
This is awesome. I can censor people on this.
Yeah, you can
It
mute
shows all my
directly
chat
there.
users. I can mute them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to censor you freaks. I never have because I didn't know I could until just now, but damn. Okay. So if I press this raid button at the end of the show, we can all go to
Yeah, like it'll
good
show
note.
like a dialogue and it'll give you like a list of who's live right now, and you can like click the name and it will pre-fill the address, like raid this stream. It basically puts it's like a Nostr event, so you basically have two A tags, which is like the from and the to. So you have like a from, which is this stream, and then the to is like the other stream that you're raiding.
Awesome. Well,
So like
look, that's badass. Continue.
so like both streams can see in their chats, like if you're raiding from someone or to someone, they can both see, okay, you were raided by Odell pretty much, or you're raiding no good. So it'll show kind of links the two streams together.
Yeah, I've seen people raid me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what that is. And by the way, freaks, I know it's fun to troll Odell on his own show. But like Kieran builds very quickly. He's just like constantly shipping shit. It's hard to keep track.
Yeah, sorry. I actually don't announce a lot of stuff for Zapstream as well.
I'm an OG Zapstream user. It was a very basic website when I first started using it.
That's still pretty basic.
And usually I don't mess with things when they're not broken, so I don't like look at. But this is awesome. I'm gonna always keep this stream dashboard up now.
Yeah, it shows the zaps in the center as well, so you can kind of.
Yeah, the zaps are awesome. I see which freaks are participating in value for value and which ones aren't. I see you guys.
Yeah, I think you guys asked about like the top zaps comments as well, right? Because like you guys are reading out the top zappers from the last stream.
Yeah, on the top. Yeah,
and you couldn't see the comments.
Yeah, I couldn't see. Did you add it?
No.
No.
But that's one place you could add it, is like the dashboard. Like you could show like the top.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see it in the dashboard.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. I mean, I see it right now in the dashboard, but when the stream ends, I won't see it anymore.
No, you'll see the top zappers like in the summary. So you have like the top
but
chatters.
This center zap thing that I see.
No, that whole layout's different. Like when the stream is over, it's like different completely.
Got it.
So it'll show you like the activity over time. So it'll show you like chats and zaps on like a timeline. So you can see kind of when your stream was most active. And then it'll show you the top chatters, like counts basically who chatted the most and who zapped the most. And you can also see the shares and how many like likes those shares got. So if you click like share on Nostr,
you see I'm streaming the the dashboard now. Look how cool this dashboard is, guys. I just discovered it. Sorry. Yeah. If I press share on Nostr.
Yeah, if you're on the stream and you share the stream, it shows in the summary as well. So you can see like if someone shares your stream, you can see like, oh, that person shared my stream and it got like 10 likes. So you can kind of see like who, like where your viewers may be coming from, basically. So if you're a new streamer, you can kind of share the stream and people will, when you finish your stream, you can see like, oh, this person, like, oh, Odell shared my stream and like 10 people reposted it. So like, you know, maybe in the future we could also do like a kind of zap splits thing to your people who are sharing your stream. So you can be like, okay, thanks for sharing my stream. Here's a zap. You know, like I earned like 20k sats from that stream, and you know, I'll zap them a couple hundred or whatever for sharing it.
That's awesome. Okay, the sky's the limit. We're just getting started. We barely scratched the surface.
Yeah, there's so many things I want to build. I kind of forget. It's mostly on the GitHub, like all the issues, and Carnage has a lot of ideas as well. So there's so many ideas.
Carnage helps you with the design a lot, right?
Yeah, and a lot of ideas as well. Like, can we try this or should we do that? And there's so much to do, you know.
That's what I'm saying though. Like the focus has got to be Zapstream. Like it's.
Yeah, but I can't like just ditch, you know, the other stuff as well. Like the other ones are kind of mostly in maintenance mode, you know, trying to do like.
What's the other stuff?
Well, Snort is came first, so it's like it's my first project. I can't like just abandon that one.
Yeah, but just because it's the first kid doesn't mean you have to love it more.
Okay, I guess, yeah. You let him be the fucked up one. No, yeah, I am working on Snort at the minute. I'm trying to make it faster and kind of less buggy, I guess. More polish. It's mostly polish. I don't really want to add anything to Snort, It's kind of it's got everything it needs, It just needs like a lot of polishing.
I saw someone ask in the comments if Zapstream, if you're the recipient of an OpenSats grant. I believe you are. You got an OpenSats grant for a combination of Zapstream and Snort.
Yeah, for the two.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's the answer.
Dude, we've gotten over 600 applications. We have over 100 grants outstanding. A lot of the times I have to go and check.
Praise Gigi.
Gigi's amazing. God bless that individual. What a dude. What has your OpenSats experience been like?
Good. I mean,
you can talk shit. Like, I'm not gonna. First of all, it's designed so I can't single-handedly stop you, even though I'm probably your biggest advocate within the org.
Yeah, Odell, I really don't like all of these direct messages you're sending me, telling me not to do this and not to do that. It's
dude, this is how conspiracy starts. Fuck you. We're ending the stream.
No, I literally have received.
I'm going to use Twitch from now on. It's over.
I've literally received 0 messages from OpenSats. So if anyone's wondering, I don't get like told what to work on.
Our bigger issue is that we probably should be sending more feedback and stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like internally, one of our number one goals is is getting like proper feedback out there, especially for the declined applications. But also, like, part of the long-term vision of OpenSats is that we want them to be obviously, like, we want them to be renewed and long-standing, right? And so, like, there's going to be we're only really like a year into, we're like starting to hit a year into OpenSats being like really serious business, which was when we got the Jack Dorsey donation and grants started rolling out like crazy. And so that involves a whole review process of like, where does the grant recipient stand? Where does the project stand? And like, we're going to need to provide like real feedback at that point, like what's going on. And
yeah,
and I don't know if we're quite there yet. Like that's funny. Cause like the conspiracy is one of the biggest conspiracies is that we're like dictating what people should do. And one of our biggest pain points is that we're like not telling people what we think enough.
Yeah.
It's a funny dichotomy. But yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess it would be kind of cool to have some like direct feedback, like
exactly.
Yeah.
Instead of just like an opaque, like the board has decided, it's like you did not get your 5 of 9 votes. You did get your 5 of 9 votes. Like that is currently like the amount of feedback people get.
Yeah.
And obviously OpenSats, I guess just because there's always new people, it's important to constantly repeat. OpenSats is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. None of the board members except for Gigi get paid, and that's because Gigi's full-time and like runs the whole ship. And he gets paid from a separate operations fund. So if you donate to operations, that goes to Gigi's salary, a few other part-time people underneath him, so Gigi doesn't completely get burnt out and lose his mind, and hopefully actually a couple more part-time people, because it's a lot more work than people realize. But if you donate to the general fund or the Noster fund, that's 100% pass-through. So everything goes to open source contributors. And obviously we get no financial benefit out of their projects. Okay, so Snort. Should we talk about Snort? We're like an hour in, and I know your time is precious. I feel like we should talk about Snort. A lot of people use Snort. If you click a Damus.io link, a lot of people use Damus, right? And like you share a Damus link, I think it goes to Snort.
Not anymore. I don't think.
Wow.
He implemented
How does
some.
that make you feel?
I don't mind.
Okay.
I mean, it was cool when he added it. He was like, "I'm just going to redirect everything to Snort because I'm not building a web client, you know." But yes, Snort is, like I said, it's mostly maintenance. So I'm trying to make it faster and kind of less buggy at the moment. There's a lot of things that we could improve. Like with Primal gaining a lot of popularity, there's a lot less people using Snort than there used to be. So I'm trying to kind of keep up, you know. Snort Primal has this better. Well, I don't know if it's better, but some people think it's better than Snort or Coracle or kind of any of the other clients. So I'm trying to improve the kind of the bugginess and the lagginess and the speed overall. It's kind of hard to compete with a centralized system, but yeah, we'll see.
So where did Damus.io links go to? Does he do NJump now?
He has something that renders the node, so I'm not sure what it is. I think they built something.
I mean, you talk about like how do you do how do you compete with like centralized alternative or whatever? Like most of the time, if I get a non-primal link, I just put primal.net/e/ in, and then I do the note, and then it just pops up in my browser.
Like if you're not sharing an n event link as well, you're basically not a Nostr user, just so you know.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah. You have to have relay hints or else it's like, why use Nostr at all?
Yeah, I've been told that I'm not a Nostr user many times. It's one of the beauties of using Nostr is you're never a Nostr user. You gotta keep improving your setup.
You gotta keep up.
So Snort's in maintenance mode. Like you don't have long term plans for that. What about? I mean, I saw Marty Malmy, one of the earliest contributors of Bitcoin. He has his Iris client. It seems like he just gave up on Iris and now he's co-working with you on Snort. What is the deal with that?
Yeah, so he's like he joined Snort, so he works on the same code base that's on Iris right now is kind of like a slight variation of Snort. So he added like support for basically white labeling. So it's like you can roll your own Snort, you know, and you can like toggle all of the different features on and off in the build config. And so he has a build config for Iris, and I have one for like Snort. And I also launched another one recently called Miku app. It's like it's supposed to be for like it defaults to like Japanese relays and it defaults to Japanese. So
we have a lot of Japanese people, right?
Yeah. And I bought this domain like a long time ago, and I'm like, I might as well use it. So I just
what is
deployed
the domain?
Miku.app.
How do I spell that?
MEKU.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
To Grinder in the comments saying Primal is the Coinbase of Nostr. I resent that metaphor. I'm a big fan of metaphors. Obviously, it's important to disclose that my venture fund 1031 has made two Nostr investments, two direct Nostr investments. One is Primal and one is Mutiny. And then OpenSats really started taking off, and we've been through OpenSats. I think over 21 clients are funded through OpenSats. And if you look back, I mean, I think Primal's never taken an OpenSats grant. I think if OpenSats existed at the time, like he might have taken an OpenSats grant instead of venture funding. And there's a lot of benefits to having these no strings attached grants out there. But the reason I dislike that metaphor is because Milan is taking great pains to not be the Coinbase of Nostr, where you can run your own caching server. Mutiny actually runs their own caching server. Users can switch between caching servers. If you broadcast, it broadcasts directly to your relays on your relay list. He doesn't mess with your relay list. He's implementing the outbox model. The long-term vision involves you checking relays to make sure the caching server isn't lying to you. Basically, the trust you have in the caching server is that it might not be showing you all the notes that exist. It might be lying through omission. So the long-term dream is like if you catch one of the whatever caching server you're using, if you catch it omitting something by doing like a sample of your relays, then you automatically switch to another caching server. On the wallet side, like I do think it's really compelling having a wallet built into a client. I think that's where all the clients are going. It makes sense to me. Obviously his has light KYC because it's powered by Strike. It requires email verification. But ultimately, you can use any Lightning address you want to receive Zaps on Primal. So I think to compare him to the naked mole rat, Brian Armstrong, it's a little bit disheartening to see. I think he's trying to do better, but at the end of the day, like you can just take your private key out of Primal, which is like the ultimate freedom aspect of Nostr, and move it to Snort, move it to Amethyst, move it to Damus, move it to Nostrudel. Move it to whatever clients you want to move it to. So I think he's trying to be better than that. I do understand it's a provocative metaphor, so I appreciate provocative metaphors because those are the ones that get the most action, and I have respect for you in that regard. I just have respect for you in general, not just in that regard. But yeah, that's my 2 sats on that metaphor. I guess I kind of like sidelined Snort. What are you working on anything else besides? You don't have to be working on anything else besides Zapstream and Snort, but are you working on anything besides Zapstream and Snort?
Yeah, I'm working on this torrent thing as well. Although I haven't really.
What is the torrent thing?
It's called dtan.xyz.
DTAN, DTAN.
Yeah, it's like a distributed torrent archive on Nostr. It's like an acronym. And
wait. So is it an O or an A?
A.
So how is it distributed torrent on Nostr if it's an
archive?
A? Oh, archive. Okay.
Yeah, and then the on is excluded.
I'm glad we got that sorted.
Yeah, that's big confusion. Bad marketing. I've only really done like 2 major updates to that. I'm in the process of like merging the NIP for torrents, so there will be like another round of updates needed for that because there's some changes in the NIP which are not implemented on DTAN. But yeah, it's basically like there's like a new kind for torrents which lets you search for torrents on Nostr, and they have like all the information that you need to basically download the torrent, and you get basically decentralized torrent index, which I don't think has ever existed. And there's a lot of cool things you could do with DTAN, but again, time constrained. So,
that's awesome.
But Nostrudel already supports torrents as well. Like I said, he pretty much supports everything. So you can search for torrents on Nostrudel as well. And I'm in the middle of making a PR to this other system called Prowler. It's like it's kind of like a scraper, like a torrent scraper. It's used in a bunch of other systems for like automated downloads of different stuff like TV shows. So having like a Nostr integration there would mean that people can find the torrents on Nostr and use those instead of the ones on those other centralized torrent indexes.
Historically, the trackers, right, which is like what we call the centralized torrent indexes, are like that's the central point of failure, like the Pirate Bay or something like that.
Yeah, those are the indexes. The tracker is something else.
Oh, wow! I've been using torrents for over a decade and got that wrong. That's great.
Well, they're usually I think they're usually bundled together. Like you can run a tracker and an indexer together, and like people will use that tracker, with the torrents on that index, pretty much.
So, what is a tracker?
A tracker basically keeps track of all the clients. So,
okay,
like if you're running a torrent client, you ask the tracker for like peers, basically.
I wasn't laughing at you, by the way. I was laughing at the grinder saying that he respects me too, just doesn't always agree with me, and he hates the caps. Kieran, what do you think about the caps?
I decline to comment.
You decline to comment on the caps.
I'm indifferent to the caps, really.
I've personally committed to doing caps forever at this point. So like Nostr is my last social media. I have nothing else. And I think I will just die in caps. But I've had some second thoughts lately, and I'm trying to reinvigorate my conviction because there are occasionally things I say that get taken out of context because they don't know I only note in caps, so they think I'm just noting that note in caps,
Right.
and they're like, "Holy shit! Like that really hits. Like, why is he being so aggressive about it?"
Right.
But maybe that's the point. I don't know.
Maybe you need like another NPub, like Odell no caps.
No, I mean I have NIMS.
Right. Okay.
NIMS
Well,
exist.
there you go.
They're not in caps because then you would know it was me.
True. If I see someone on Noster in all caps, I'm gonna be like, that's Odell's name.
Yeah, exactly. But there are NIMS that are in all caps that get accused of being me. Those aren't
Right.
me.
Okay. We'd have
But
to
that's what I
guess.
would say if they were me, you know?
True.
Yeah.
No, I do.
Maybe.
I do actually have a lot of plans for Snort. I know we're getting continually sidetracked, but
Sorry.
we have this community leaders program which I started building, and then I kind of went on to something else. But basically, the idea of community leaders is like, you know, this I think it's called like 21bitcoin.world or something like that. It's like these it's basically like a Bitcoin community building thing. Have you heard of this?
Is this GG too?
I don't remember. But anyway, it's a similar idea, but it's for like Noster. So basically you could be like a community leader is like someone who's like a kind of like a spokesperson for Noster, or someone who likes to like get others to use Noster, to tell people about Noster. And the idea with that is like we have subscriptions. So if you have a ref code, you can like earn a certain amount of sats from people who use your ref code if they subscribe to Snort. So the idea is like it's not really to get like more people on Snort, but it's kind of an incentive for people to use Noster in a way, or to get more people to use Noster.
That's
So
awesome.
it's still in progress, you know, as with pretty much everything I'm working on. But if you go to
It's forever progress. That's what you learn. That's what becoming an adult is you realize that you never finish anything. It's just constant forever.
Yeah. But if you go to community.snortsocial, that's like the landing page for it. And a lot of people have like applied to become leaders, community leaders, but I haven't actually built the payout system for the referrals. So it's like a lot of people waiting to become community leaders. But there's other reasons to do it as well. Like we want, you know, more direct feedback with certain communities. So there's like a really big Thai like Noster user base because of this. The guys that are running the Bitcoin Thailand, they have like so many people from Thailand using Zapstream and using Noster in general. And I'm like, we need a way to, because we had a very similar thing like back in maybe February or March last year with the Japanese users. There was like so many people from Japan signing up.
Right.
And that was because like certain people, like, I don't know, you call them influencers or something, but
people with large audiences in Japan.
Yeah, basically like they had a bunch of people that were coming to Noster, but then like you couldn't actually, you know, get feedback about what they liked or disliked because maybe they didn't know how to communicate that, or there was no like communication channel basically for people to give feedback. So another reason to do the community leaders is to have this kind of direct communication with those communities. So like if you have someone that speaks your native language, you're probably going to be much more open to like giving feedback to that person, and that person can relay it to us. So it's another way to basically get more feedback from different regions in different native speaking languages to like improve Noster overall, I guess.
Have you talked to Hodlbot about this at all?
No.
So anytime someone says communities to me, I ask them if they've talked to Hodlbot.
That is true.
That is my it was my unspoken promise to Hodlbot. I never told him I was going to do this. I just kind of do it. But you know his vision, right? I explained this to Will like 3 episodes ago.
Not entirely. I think I missed that episode with Will, actually.
Dude, you got to listen.
I have to go back and watch it because
you don't have to listen. Get your work done, you know. But Hadlbad's dream is that he can get his church group off of Facebook
Oh yeah,
Messenger.
yeah. I heard that part. Yeah,
Yeah, so like that's where he's like thinking hyper local, right? Like he's not thinking a country. He's not even thinking a state or a nation or a town. He's thinking the church, one of the 20 churches in his town, get them over. But I
right.
think it all kind of like Noster's perfect for this.
I
Like
think
it
it's a little
makes a
bit
lot of
different
sense.
than like what I'm trying to do with the community leaders. Like I guess he's trying to use Noster for his community versus like the community leaders as a way to get just more people on Noster in general. You know?
I mean, I don't. Can we go like where are we diverging here?
Well, I mean, his goal is to basically have like community relays and things like that, like isolating that community. But this is just to bring more people onto Noster, like globally. You know?
Well, he's not actually. See, one of the things I do on Dispatch is I speak for other people,
Right.
which is not great situation because I usually fuck it up. But like his idea is kind of the cool part about Noster is you can have like the best of both worlds, right? So like you can have Thai people from Thailand that speak Thai. They can get the benefits of the global Noster ecosystem, but they can also get the benefits of consistently smaller and smaller communities. But it's like it's a permeable wall. Like some of the, if that makes sense, like some of the content should not pass the wall, right?
Right.
It's like if you're talking about certain things in your church, you don't want Kieran or Odell to read it. But at the same time, like people in the church do want to see things that are coming from the rest of the world and they want to interact with the rest of the world. And it's like, how do you interact with that? But are you thinking of community leaders more like just a referral system?
Yeah,
Like
basically just
bring people
referral.
in?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're thinking
Like-
like way simpler.
Yeah, like I don't want to isolate those people. I want Snort to be like as it is now, but I want a way to incentivize like people to get people to use Noster by giving them like a split of their subscriptions.
Got it. Okay, so you just want a global distributed set of Noster shows.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, people like
I'm cool
referral
with
links
that.
as well.
I
in
hate
general.
ref links.
I mean, some people. I said people. I didn't say Odell. Odell. I'm speaking for Odell.
I hate I've never used a ref link.
Well, there are a lot of people who like them.
One of the funny things is I really like Silent Link.
Yeah.
The eSIM for Bitcoin service.
Yeah, I use that.
And he made me a ref link.
Okay.
And we have like an automated matrix bot that like says how many people used a ref link. He insisted on it. I was like, I don't want a ref. I don't like ref links. And it just constantly just says 0, 0, 0. And I just have to constantly tell them, I'm like, look, I'm telling so many people about it. I'm just not giving them my ref link. It's like, it's not, it's doing like the opposite. It's like, I'm telling everyone, like, this is a great service. I'm just telling them to go to the website and not giving them the ref link. For whatever reason, I just think it's like a cheap, there's too many people that have ruined ref links. You know, it's like you give them $5 back or you give them, 5,000 sats back and they will just shill whatever garbage is out there. So like as soon as I see a ref link, I just think less of the person.
True.
But maybe I'm wrong. Like I did say earlier, right? We got to take the best of slave tech. And ref links do work. They work.
If you're going to share a link to, to someone else, like they're going to be more inclined to share it if they're potentially going to get something out of it,
Yeah, I mean, I'm like the crazy person that like everything after the question mark, like I backspace it out,
Right.
on all the tracking links and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm a masochist. What else on Snort? Do you have anything else on Snort besides community leaders?
Well, we have like subscriptions in general, which is not doing too great. So I need to expand on referral or the subscriptions in general. Like you don't get a lot with the subscriptions right now. Like you get automatic translations, which is really useful, but that's only in the
I like
pro
that.
tier.
Automatic translations make sense to me.
Oh god, it's so good. Oh my god, it's so useful because I follow like a bunch of the Japanese users, and like they're just sending like so many notes like every day, but I can actually read them. Like it's perfectly readable because they're auto translated.
What about auto translations in the opposite direction?
Yeah, it works in every direction. So like
No,
if you're
no. I mean, but they need to have it. What if I am a subscriber
right,
and I wanna post a note in Japanese? Like it should be,
okay.
I should be able to just press a button in Snort and just send out a Japanese note.
Oh, you mean like translate before sending?
Yeah, right. The
Yeah, you could do that.
opposite. I mean, you
I mean,
can't
if
right
they're
now, right?
if they're like a pro subscriber and they see your note, it'll be auto translated
I know.
to
I'm saying
Japanese.
the
But
opposite though.
what's the point of that though?
You don't think people would use it?
I mean, well, I mean, you can just do that manually. I don't know.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
When are you ever gonna want to send a note in Japanese?
maybe I do. I mean, I have. When we had like all the Thai people join, I like manually went and did shitty machine translation
Yeah.
into Thai, and then I fucked it up actually, and I said the wrong thing. I didn't mean to say what I said, but I did do it.
Yeah.
I did it once, and then I learned my lesson in English only from that point on.
Right. But I guess if they had a pro subscription, they would auto translate it anyway. So
I think it was Stay Humble Stack Sats, and then I did something else, and then it got really bad. I said something completely wrong. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Humble. I think Humble got mistranslated,
right.
if I recall correctly.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Deep L doesn't support Thai, so you got to use something else.
What is DeepL? Is that one of these AI LLM things?
Yeah, it's like I actually don't know who makes that, but
Is it open source or is it?
I think it's Open AI. I don't know if it's an
Oh,
Open AI thing.
so it's closed.
Yeah, it's totally closed. It's paid.
Okay, so that's what you're using.
Yeah, I'm paying for that
How do you live with yourself? Why aren't you using an open solution?
because I don't have a GPU to run it on.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't have the resources.
Okay, I'm not gonna, I won't blame you for that.
Yeah, maybe I am using some like I do like a pre-check on all of the notes that are being translated to like make sure that it's not the target language already, because like you could like waste a lot of money like translating from English to English, you know. So I basically do like a check. I'm like, is the I have another like layer in front before I call DeepL. That's like, what is the language of this? So I have like another AI thing, which I am running myself. So it checks and it detects the language. And then it's like, okay, it's already Japanese. So why would I translate it to Japanese, you know?
Right.
And I think Will had that problem. He was paying, because he's using DeepL as well, but he was paying like a ridiculous amount. I'm only paying like $5 a month for it.
Well, I think Semisol figured it out for him, right? He wasn't doing a pre-check. Yeah, I like the auto translate in Damus for Purple Pro subscribers. Auto translate makes sense as a thing. You see Sashin in the comments. I accidentally said "stay humiliated." That was I mean, I said "stay humble" in the translation,
Right.
and then it got lost. It got lost in translation.
Happens.
It's a thing. So what else do you have anything else in mind? I mean, you said subscriptions aren't really working, I guess.
You know, the NIP5 thing is actually great. Like that
Yeah,
brings
people
in,
want NIP5s.
they're still paying, and it's like it's really expensive, but they still pay. So I'm like, okay, go ahead. Like that's bringing in a decent amount every month. So I don't. That's why I haven't really invested that much time in subscriptions, because like the NIP5 thing it's already doing pretty well.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Will's been hesitant on the NIP5 stuff.
Oh
I
man,
think people would pay for 3 letters at Damus.io or whatever.
Yeah, I told him, because they were asking me like, oh, like how is your subscription system doing, and I'm like, yeah, just sell NIP5s, because like people are buying them like way more than subscriptions.
Are you familiar with Skiff Mail? They just got bought by Notion.
Nope, never heard of it.
But they were like a privacy email. They were crypto bros, which should have been the sign that they were fucked. But they're closing it down. They're closing it down. They got bought by Notion. They're doing honestly, they're doing the respectable thing. Like it was supposed to be client side encrypted email and Drive and all. They were competing with Proton basically, and there was no way to continue that under a Notion agreement. So instead they're closing it down. But the reason I bring them up is because they charged more if you did a like sub 5 character email. And I think there's something there. I mean, it sounds kind of fucked up. Yeah, I'm an open book. But I think there's something there. Like charge more if you want a 3-character NIP5, you should pay more for that. If you have a 10-character NIP5, that's less scarce. There's way more combinations.
Yeah, we do that. So if you get like
okay, awesome.
If you do like less than 3 characters, it's like 90K. But if you do like more than 3, it's like 50K.
In dollars or sats?
Sats.
Okay.
Dollars, yeah, it's $50,000.
Okay, so you already did my suggestion.
Yeah, and what's it called again? What's the other one called again? I forgot the name.
I don't know what we're talking about.
The other NIP5 service that you buy, Noster
Plebs.
Yeah, lost the name there.
It's not even a great domain.
They do that as well. They do like the length based thing.
Yeah, length makes sense to me.
Yeah,
I like that.
So
I mean,
I could tell you that there's been over 1,000 NIP5 handles sold.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
that's legit.
And I have 3 domains now, so there's like more options for people.
What are the other ones?
So you can get Snort Social, Zapstream, or Noster.gg.
Okay, wait. So I only have Odell at Zapstream.
Yes.
Okay. Well, what about impersonators?
Well, if they buy it, that's it. You're screwed.
Well, I'm not going to buy it. So,
thank you for your honesty.
The only real one is Odell at Zapstream. Just for the freaks, to let you know. There's too many. Like I can't buy all of them. There's going to be Odells at all the things.
Right.
I'm
good
fine
thing
with
that Primal gave you one for free.
Yeah, but I don't use primals. I use my own domain like a sovereign individual. So there's that. And I was actually using my own node until yesterday, where I switched to Primal's custodial wallet because the zaps weren't showing up on the Zapstream. It was just for you mostly. I was like, I can't do the Zapstream without the zap showing up.
Yeah. There's actually a bug as well with like, if you're using like the Zapstream lightning address, it doesn't actually show the zaps. It's kind of messed up. Like the Zapstream.
Wait, really?
The Zapstream zapper doesn't show.
Why? Fix it.
There's a bug, yeah.
You should fix it.
I should. Let me just end this right here and I'll go and fix it.
I know I'm being kind of ridiculous. I would say that, and I'm not going to ever argue this again, but 1031 is an investor in Primal and an investor in Strike. So if I use the Primal wallet, it's not really custodial for me. I'm a small piece of the custodian.
Right.
Yeah. It's like kind of self-custody.
You can just keep telling yourself that.
Yeah. I'm never going to use this argument again, but I felt like it needed to be used once.
Well, it's used. It's burned now.
There we go. Dude, this has been fucking awesome. Thank you for joining. I know you didn't think there was a lot. I think we could go on for hours.
We're not finished. We have to keep talking.
Okay, what else do you want to talk about? No, I know I'm the host.
I know. I was going to say that we also have the Snort deck as well. That's part of the pro plan.
What is Snort deck? Is that like the tweet deck?
Yeah.
Dude, you got to talk about this stuff more. Like Will is like everyone's excited about Note deck from Will.
So am I. I'm actually hoping to help him out there.
Okay, so you have Snort deck. Yeah. How do I access Snort deck?
If you're a pro subscriber, if you go to,
I'm not one, right?
No. If you go to snort.social/deck.
Okay, snort.social. /deck.
I think it'll show you like a link that's like you need to be a pro subscriber, I believe.
Let me see. You must be a pro subscriber. Subscribe. Okay, subscribe. All right, okay. I'm subscribing on air. But I mean, now I can't use Phoenix, so I'm gonna wait for my Tor node. It's gonna take a minute. Thank you, Kaludis, Evan, for making Zeus and making it so I can easily connect to my Tor node.
Are you using
Okay.
LNC?
What?
Are you using LNC?
Which one is that? There's so many.
Yeah, a Lightning Node Connect.
Yeah, I'm using Lightning Node Connect.
Yeah, we have that on Snort as well. Actually,
They have-
you can
Yeah,
you can connect like your node directly over LNC in the web.
Oh, it's saying that I didn't subscribe. You got my sats. You got my sats, bro.
Yeah, the number went up to 36. We now have 36 subscribers.
That's all you have?
Yeah, it's
Fuck,
nothing.
we're so early.
Yeah. No, I think there was more in the beginning, but people just stopped paying it.
Wow, I only paid a 7 sats fee on that. That's dope.
And that's going to my node as well. I'm using a.
Okay, now it says I already have a subscription. Let's try again.
Yeah, it might take a second to like, because it has to publish the subscription on Noster.
Okay,
so like,
it says I'm a subscriber on the subscribe page, but not on the deck page.
Yeah, so if you don't see Pro like at the very top next to the Snort name, then it hasn't like published the event yet.
Well, when are you going to publish it?
It's automated. It should publish it right away.
It's asking me to donate. I've just subscribed. Well, while we're waiting, there's conspiracies that because 1031 is an investor in Primal, that I'm on the top of the trending feed all the time. What's your excuse for why I'm on the top of Snort Social's trending feed all the time?
Blame Noster Band.
Okay.
Yeah, don't blame me.
Always blame someone else.
We're using the Noster Band feed for trending and for like trending people, trending posts.
Okay, so you're just outsourcing that to Noster Band.
Yep.
And what do we know what Noster Band's algorithm is?
No idea. It's closed source.
So Primal's is open, I believe. But I'll just say it out loud. I mean, the majority comes down to replies. That's why the good morning ones are always higher up. And you can't verify zaps. So like a zap is, a zap is a zap. It doesn't matter how much was zapped.
Right. Did you see that post from Ocean?
Yeah, with Bolt 12.
Yeah, didn't they say that it's verifiable? Can we not use that in zaps? At Bolt 12?
Honestly, I'm so disenfranchised about Bolt 12. I'll believe it when I see it that Bolt 12 happens. Because
that would be like huge for zaps.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can do verifiable with Charming eCash. Like, I think that's where we're actually going.
Right. Yeah, I'm in the middle
of its own controversies, but like I think in 5-10 years, like the majority of zaps are going to be eCash.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to default to like Cashew wallet on Snort. So like as soon as you log into Snort for the first time, you'll have a Cashew, or you can pick like a Cashew mint, and maybe there'll be recommended one, and you can have a balance, and you can start zapping right away.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's the future, especially like on-chain fees. Are you living in denial of 1 sat per byte?
What do you mean? Am I in denial?
Like, fees are going to go up, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is weird. I'm like logged in to my Citadel dispatch handle on Snort, even though my extension is.
Oh, you might need to log out first if you were logged in before.
So did I just subscribe to Pro on the wrong NPub?
No, it should have signed an event with your extension. So you would have subscribed with whatever your extension is set to.
Dude, everyone's a fucking scammer. Sign in with Noster.
I think you're gonna have to subscribe twice though.
Really?
No.
Oh no, now I'm in pro because I switched.
Right. Yeah, I think it
Okay, so
stores your endpoint.
I subscribed under Odell.
Yeah, it should sign, because whenever you request, the server, it uses the NIP98 auth, which is like an Nostr event. So you prove who you are, and then you can subscribe.
Okay,
much.
now I'm in deck. Cool. I
Yeah,
see Citadel Dispatch is live. The Grinder and one other zapped.
yeah, notifications. Yeah,
Let's see if I can.
yeah. There's a lot of stuff we can do with deck as well. Like it's
Okay, so why is this
whoa,
broken? Do you see
why
this?
is it totally empty?
Yeah, what's going on here?
How many relays do you have?
I didn't listen to Fiat Jeff. I only use the big relays.
Okay, it shouldn't be like that. Mine looks totally.
Is it going to show my NSEC
No,
on
just
screen?
no. Just click on
Relays, okay.
relays.
There you go. See, I only use the big ones plus bitcoinpark.com.
Okay. I mean, it shouldn't be that slow. Well, there you go. It needs work, like I said. That's what I need to like make it better overall.
And this is like incognito Chrome. It's like what the web runs on.
Okay.
So if I press load more, does that help?
Yeah, why is it all empty though?
Nope. It thinks it's loading shit.
And if you go to the homepage, does it work?
Let's go to the homepage.
Why is that empty?
Why is it empty? What's going on here?
Reload the page?
Let's see, look, I'm trending.
It's Nostrbrand.
You want me to reload the page?
Yeah. That's weird.
It just reloaded. And look, you're asking me to donate above an empty feed.
Donate for more bugs. Yeah, we have this zap splits thing as well. So like you can see on the
I didn't mean
page.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I was excited about deck.
Yeah,
I'll move back to
I could share my screen, I guess.
I don't think you can. I don't think this
it
allows
looks
you
like
to.
it's disabled.
Yeah, it doesn't allow you to. Oh, I can. Let's see.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Well, how do I get that?
I don't know why it's not loading for you. That's weird. Maybe you need like a terabyte of RAM, like Grinder says. Yeah, but you can scroll here. You can scroll here.
I have 32 gigs of RAM. I'm in the top 1%.
I have 64.
You're also in the top 1%. Like there's crazy people now that have a lot more than that.
That's true. But yeah, you also get like a modal view.
It's beautiful, dude.
You can get the long form posts here.
Wow, I didn't know a guest could stream their. That makes it so much easier. Thanks.
You get like a modal view basically whenever you click on anything here.
I used to love TweetDeck. TweetDeck was my shit.
And then it breaks.
Something went wrong. Well, it's a work in progress. Everything's in progress.
It's always a work in progress.
But see, your home feed loads. Why doesn't my home feed load?
I don't know. I guess you just need to be me. Everything works for me. Yeah. Everything works on my machine.
Noted. It's zappy too for you. It's quick.
Yeah. Maybe because you haven't used it before. Because like this all comes from the cache pretty much.
I'm a subscriber.
You are. But like I said, there's a bunch of things actually. If you go to subscribe, you should also see your Nostr addresses here. You know, the ones that I transferred to you. You can like manage them here.
Oh, let me check. Settings, Nostr address. Odell at zap.stream. Let's fucking go.
And you can transfer it, and we have like
it's cool that you can transfer it.
Yeah. I'm not sure how many people actually use that. But
what transfer?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the dream of all domain hoarders everywhere. They're like, "Oh, I'm just going to sell my domains," and no one ever does. Actually, you just hold on to them.
Back in February, when like there was a huge like amount of people from China joining, they bought so many like handles, like everything, like all the brand names, like they're all taken.
That's awesome.
They just bought up so many of them. Yeah.
And that's subscription, right? Like they have to keep paying.
No, it's once off.
Dude,
the NIP 5
what?
is once off. But if you pay for the subscription, you get the NIP 5, and that one is.
You should have learned from Namecheap and DNS and shit. Like you gotta
No.
$9.99 a year.
No.
Why
If
not?
you pay this one, the fan rate, that includes an Oster address. So you get one if you're a subscriber, but you have to
What?
pay every month.
But why wouldn't you make NIP5 a subscription thing? Like it should be a subscription thing. Am I crazy?
Well, it's like a once-off thing. It's like 10 times more than the lowest subscription. So like you pay it once off and then like you're good. Whereas this one you have to pay every month to keep it.
I mean, someone's asking me in the comments what extension I'm using. I'm using NoS2X. Like I don't think that changes anything, right?
Yeah, I'm using that as well.
It's so clean. It's so
I love
so
it.
simple.
Yeah, and they added NIP 44 as well. So hopefully we can do the new NIP 17 DMs soon in Snort. I was working on that the other day.
Oh, did you see what Jeff came up with?
Oh yeah.
His
Yeah,
double
yeah.
ratchet DMs.
Yeah, it's a lot of words, but I'm about halfway through, so yeah, that's really interesting.
I didn't read it. I just zapped and repost.
Of course. I'm gonna have to implement it though, so I kind of need to read it.
Fair enough. I figured I'd read it eventually. But DMs are like that's bad. It's really bad right now.
Yeah. Well, the NIP 17 DMs is like much better. So that's
So you want to go
kind
through
of-
that? What NIP 17 is gift wrap, right?
Yeah, it's like it's gift wrap with like a different encryption scheme as well.
Okay, I'm removing your screen share and we're going back to the chat.
Okay. It's actually some of the gift wrap and some of the schemes used in NIP 17 DMs are used in the new proposal as well. So it's kind of sharing some of those parts, for the new DMs, for the ratchet DMs.
Yeah, it's like NIP 17 plus, right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
We just iterate. We improve over time.
That's it.
That's the
Never
way.
ending, never finished.
Awesome. Well, I mean, I think Snort Deck could be dope if it worked.
True. Like I said, there's a lot of cool things we could do.
And also, I didn't know it existed. First of all, I found out on air.
There you go. We also have this.
I don't pretend to keep up with everything, but I think I'm like in the top.
Yeah, it's
I
hard to
be
keep
in
up.
the top 1% of like keeping up with shit.
You can also use your Nostr address as like an email address.
Why?
Yeah. So if you don't want to sign up to an email provider, you can use the Nostr one.
Odell, it's app.stream.
Not that one. The Snort ones.
And then where does it go? Into my DMs?
Yeah, DMs you the email.
Do people actually use that?
Yeah, a good few people use it.
But then anyone with my NPub could just see which emails I'm getting, right?
Well, I mean, it just shows that Snort is DMing you, basically.
So it's just a bunch of Snort DMs of my emails.
Yeah.
But then how do can I reply?
No, not yet.
So
that would be cool though.
It's for like verification codes or something.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like if you don't want to use like Google or Gmail or whatever.
Muni's telling me I have to log out and log back in. Is that a thing? Let's see.
Maybe.
I'll log out.
Yeah, if you haven't used it in a while, sometimes it holds on to the cache, for the older versions.
By the way, you don't have a login button. You have a sign up button, and then after that, it's like login.
Tell Carnage.
Okay.
he wanted it like that, so that's how it is.
Okay, I logged out, logged back in. I can't close the browser because we're live. Yeah, it still doesn't work. Muni, you're wrong.
That's weird.
I didn't trust, I verified, and you were wrong.
I could log in as you. See what it looks like.
Yeah, do that. You need my NPub? It's NPub1QNY. I don't know any of the other ones.
Just type Odell at Zapstream and log in.
Really? Oh, wow. Yeah. That's clean. This is why I don't use Nostr DMs. By the way, he's logging in with the pub key, so it's a view-only mode. He's not able to post, stay humiliated.
Yeah, it's not loading. I guess it's a bug.
What the fuck's going on?
Crappy code,
Okay, well, I can't complain. I appreciate you. Dude, you have anything else you want to talk about? I tried to wrap this like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, sorry. I just thought we should just keep going.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, you were the one who told me originally we have nothing to talk about, and you were absolutely wrong about that.
Well, I didn't say we had nothing to talk about. I said I'm not very interesting. Is what I said.
Is that actually what you said?
Yeah.
Let me check. Oh, you did say you weren't very interesting. You're right. Do you remember what my response was?
Yep.
LMFAO bullshit.
Yep.
And I think I was correct. Shout out me. Well, I think this has been a great rip. What I would like to do, Kieran, is I would like to have you on more often. Would you agree to that?
Sure. As long as it's early.
Have you ever been on a podcast before?
Yes, I think. I was on one of the
What?
I was on
Which-
Pleb Chain Radio. I was
Not
on
a podcast.
Okay, whatever. I was on another one like really early. I forget the name.
I love the PBR guys. I'm not trying to be an asshole. Let's talk about that actually.
Oh right, yeah. I also built Noster Nests 2.0.
You rebuilt Noster Nests,
Yeah, that was a nest. So I was on Noster Nests for PCR.
which is like a competitor to Spaces and Clubhouse, right? Audio only,
Yep.
direct streams.
Yeah, I mean it existed, but it wasn't really like a Noster client.
It was just like a centralized website that you.
Well, yeah, you just kind of
could
prove
log
who you
into
are
Noster.
basically
Yeah.
on Noster. But this one is like an actual, like everything's Noster apart from the audio. Exact same setup as Zapstream pretty much.
It's like audio Zapstream, right?
Basically, yeah. So it's very similar. That's why it only took me like a month to build it because it was like a lot. It was like a new backend. It's not the same backend as Zapstream. It's on another platform which is also open source called LiveKit. And it's for audio, but they also support video as well. But it's mostly for like audio rooms, like group calls and video calls, that kind of thing. But we're using it only for the audio. And yeah, it worked pretty well. And again, there's still so much you can do with that, but again, I don't have that much time, so it's hard to like prioritize things when you have all these different projects.
So how did that work? I mean, my understanding is Derek Ross was like the man behind Noster Nests.
Yeah,
So
basically.
did he just reach out to you and was like, "Can you rebuild Noster Nest for free?" And then you did it?
No, there was a bounty actually.
Oh,
Yeah, so there was a bounty, but it's been around for like a year. And I guess whenever Frog Talk was on, it's like a 24-hour thing they do every year. When it was on the second time, I was like,
every year for 2 times.
I just like I tuned into that and I'm like, this sucks. Like we need to build build a new one
It was
it's
kind of
been
painful.
yeah, it's been asked for so long for someone to like step up and try and build it. And then Fiat Jaff like also messaged Derek a few days later and was like, someone needs to build this. Come on, like what's going on? And then I messaged Derek around the same time and I was like, I think I might, try and build this thing because, the current one sucks. And then eventually Fiat Jaff ended up reminding me, but also being like, why aren't you building it yet? And then I just started working on it. So
He's aggressive in the best way possible.
Yeah, Derek always thanks Fiat Jaff, the Noster CEO, for getting me to build it.
Well, thank you for building it. I think that could also be one of the killer apps for Noster because, I mean, Twitter Spaces sucks. Clubhouse is bullshit. And obviously there is demand for that type of product.
Yeah, I really like it as well because it's like it's like way more. I know Zapstream, like you don't have as great of a kind of connection with the other people that are watching. So maybe you just want to like chill and talk. It's got a little bit more connection to the people that are there because
right, like Zapstream, I like can't pull people up.
Right, exactly. So it's kind of like it's in the middle between like Zapstream and somewhere else, like text chat, I guess, like a better text chat for a group chat.
But what I do like is that like you made text chat a first class citizen, like Zapstream. Absolutely. Which is like what Twitter Spaces is missing. Like the overwhelming majority of people in the Twitter Spaces shouldn't be contributing via audio. They should be contributing via text, and they can't.
Yeah.
Because like the problem is like you bring up like a rando in a Twitter Spaces, and they just go on and on and on and on. It just derail the whole conversation.
Right.
But if you have them like test their thesis and like do some proof of work in the text chat first before you bring them up, like you can have a better conversation.
True. No, it's actually identical, like in terms of Noster events to Zapstream. So like nests and streams on Zapstream are identical.
Yeah. This is why you're prolific. There's going to be 2 of the main killer apps, I think, of Nostr over the next 5 years.
We'll see where it goes.
You're so humble.
You got to build. You got to build something, or else you never know.
Damn right. Well, I appreciate. Oh, one more thing. I we could just go on forever. So you know how like we have the last comment in the live stream is this npub1x dln qtt. And he's asking a question. The question is irrelevant right now. The names don't pop up unless I close the window and open the window again.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Is this a support call or?
Yes.
I loved in that other stream with Mutiny. You were like, I was asking a ton of questions.
Yeah, you're on the opposite. You're on the opposite side of that.
Yeah, I didn't expect you to actually read them out though.
But
I thought someone in the chat could like help me.
I mean, we were talking about like nests versus streams. Like Dispatch. First of all, Dispatch existed before Clubhouse existed, but it's like it like straddles the middle ground between like a heavily edited Peter McCormick or Stefan Livera podcast. Like we're live, we're unedited, we have a text chat, but we're not Nostr Nests, we're not Twitter Spaces. Like it's like Dispatch is like kind of in the middle, but the audience interaction is like a key aspect of it.
Yeah,
so you're welcome.
It doesn't load because of bugs, basically.
But
like,
it's because I'm like actually it's like a Nostr client in the web browser, right?
Yeah, what is this thing you have, by the way, the window?
What do you mean?
Like the one that you're sharing on the stream.
See, look, I just wait, I reloaded it and now his name popped up. Let's see. Share. So this is if you go to wiz.biz/citadel.
Okay, so it's like a page for your stream.
Yeah, Wiz made it for me.
Okay.
Because I asked him politely. And I said that Nostr's the future and I need my Nostr live chat. And I was talking to you actually at the same time. I was like, I need the Nostr live chat to be a permanent link so that I can embed it with iframes into this page.
Right.
And so like at any point, if you go to wiz.biz/citadel, you get what I'm screen sharing.
Yeah.
And then he also made this clock thing because the regular mempool.space didn't look nice next to the chat.
Yeah.
And look, nice. You mentioned that like there's a lot of ideas out there. Like I'm the ideas guy.
Okay.
You know, I don't actually. I build things that support people who build things, and then I also overload them with ideas.
Well, I can tell you that I'm already overloaded with ideas.
Yeah, that's what I do. I've been good with you. I don't think I've overloaded you with ideas. I'm
there
mostly
was that one idea though.
Positive.
The Bitcoin TV one.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't overload you with it. I just mentioned it.
I'm wondering what's happened to that idea.
And the idea remains like Bitcoin TV should be Zapstream, like that's what it should be. Well, like we stopped like Bitcoin TV. Okay, let's talk about it. Bitcoin TV was this idea that like we needed a place that this was pre-Nostr, and I was afraid my content was going to get censored off of YouTube. I'm still amazed that I haven't been kicked off of YouTube yet, and I'm really amazed that Marty hasn't been kicked off of YouTube. But like Bitcoin TV was the idea like, okay, we need a place where, first of all, you can't get kicked off because it's Bitcoiners hosting the content. Completely centralized, obviously, but Bitcoiners hosting the content. Second of all, you don't get recommended shitcoiner videos, right? Like you go to your favorite Bitcoiner on YouTube and like the next video they recommend is a shitcoiner video, so that doesn't happen. And then third of all, like really wanted, Bitcoin payments built in, like value for value Lightning stuff. And we built it all on PeerTube, because open source is amazing and you should use like the predominant FOSS project. And like, I only have love for PeerTube maintainers and developers, but like that project is a fucking mess. And then we had Bitcoiners upload terabytes of content onto our PeerTube instance. And it's just been a real mess. And then I discovered Zapstream, and I just I don't even use I maintain Bitcoin TV. I'm one of the 3 maintainers of it. But I mean, I only use Zapstream. Like Zapstream's fucking awesome. But I think bitcointv.com is a stronger domain. So that's basically where I stand.
Right. I requested to mirror Bitcoin TV before, because I'm like,
How
I
did you
have
do
this-
that? Through PeerTube?
yeah, on PeerTube. I was running a PeerTube.
Did we agree
instance.
did we agree to your request? It was
No.
like a activity pub thing.
Yeah, I don't know how it works, but I requested. I'm like, I have like 50 terabytes of space, and I'll be happy to mirror this stuff for you. I don't know how it works, but like I requested it. I think it was 10 terabytes at the time.
It was
I don't
so.
know.
I'm not going to throw Wiz under the bus, but Wiz is in charge of that aspect, and he strongly believes that any mirrors we have degrades performance because he runs like 4 ISPs.
Right.
So
Yeah, no, it
like
makes sense,
he doesn't let anyone mirror our content.
Yeah.
He has like, jurisdiction. He has ISPs around the globe. So like depending on where you hit, you go to his servers in that region. But yeah, Bitcoin TV is garbage. Like, don't use it. But yeah, I mean, that's why I brought it up, is because I mean, Zapstream is in my mind. Zapstream is what I wanted Bitcoin TV to be at some point.
Yeah, I think we can do it. I mean, we have designs for like regular videos and like not live streams, but I'm kind of reliant on this, system to process videos. But I guess if you're just linking them, like Flare Pub does, you
Well,
basically
Flare
like,
is done.
is it down?
I think he discontinued it. It's no longer. I don't even think it's not even. You can't even say it's not. Oh, it's still there. Didn't Fiat Chop say Flare is done?
I think he was just he said that a bunch of different projects, and
Oh, Flare's
mostly,
awesome.
yeah. Well, we could use the same spec as Flare. I think Bookmark supports it as well.
Yeah, I like that Flare doesn't actually try and host everything.
Yeah.
Um,
No, we have designs for like a YouTube type kind of recommended bar and the comment section underneath the video and stuff like that. But we kind of try to keep it, the Twitch killer first approach, and then maybe we can add these kind of pre-rendered video uploads and later. So we're not quite there, but I think we could totally do that. Have, because then you basically have Bitcoin TV, right? You would have just a place to see all these
like the
uploaded
YouTube
videos.
competitor.
Yeah, you could do both. I mean, you can do both on.
I want to
on
be able to
Zapstream.
send. I want to be able to send people to a place where they can watch like good Bitcoin Nostr content.
Yeah,
But I think it's Zapstream is very close to it already.
it is.
Yeah. I mean, I would just, since we're an hour and 50 minutes into the show, we only have the Ride or Dies now, so I give you guys a little bit of context. Like the real context happens this late in the shows. Like most people that left the fiat world and went into the Bitcoin world and wanted to just surround themselves with Bitcoin and now Nostr full time. Like I make way less money than I did in the fiat world. Most of my projects lose money. Bitcoin Park has lost a tremendous amount of money. Bitcoin TV has lost slightly less money. OpenSats makes me no money by design, which is actually like quite successful because it's zero. I don't lose money. I don't make money on it. There was like a little bit personal contributions that I made in the beginning, but besides my time, I haven't lost money on OpenSats. Rabbit Hole Recap basically doesn't make me much money, even though it's got ads, because I just recommend the best product. So it doesn't matter if you pay me an ad or not. So the people that make the best products don't pay for ads. And the people that make the bad products don't pay for ads because they know I'm going to tell people not to use them regardless. And then 1031 is like barely making me money, but is like a long-term play that if you invest in the best of Bitcoin and Nostr, like hopefully long-term, it should pay good equity value, which I think is true. But in the short term, it hasn't really made me much money. And I think this is a trend that you see with almost every person that is operating ethically in the Bitcoin space, or trying to operate as ethically as possible in the Bitcoin space, which is, and especially the Nostr space, which is even more nascent, which is that there's not much money to go around and it's a fucking grind. But you're paid off in the dividends of freedom and feeling fulfilled, and that's what keeps us going. But yeah, Bitcoin TV has just been a fucking money sink, I guess was my point. Which is I warned you about, right, Kieran? I did warn you about. I was like,
you're trying to
video
steer me
storage
away
is
from that
expensive.
idea.
Well, I was trying to like Twitch. One of the big things that Twitch did was not 90 days. It's like a week. Like they store your video.
Twitch? I think it's a month. No,
They like barely store your video,
right?
right?
Can you
There's
even
like,
download the video from there?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But they like made an active point. They were like, we're not YouTube. Like we're not an archive for your content. Like people come here to watch you live, and we will
Yeah.
not continue hosting it and delivering it to people.
Yeah, like what a lot of people can do on Zapstream as well is like you can use this restream feature. We have a restream feature that's included where you can like if you stream to Zapstream, you can automatically like restream to any number of other platforms.
Right, because I pay Restream like $600 a year or something.
Right, so you can do that for free on Zapstream. And you can like push your stream to YouTube or Twitch or anywhere else. And so what you can do is like don't pay the Zapstream best rate to have recordings, and just use the forwarder to like send it to YouTube and have them save it for you. So like you use
that's what I do.
Oh, exactly.
I mean, but I don't use. I pay Restream because I don't know. Their interface is great. Like you see my nice banner on the bottom and shit.
Yeah.
Like it's just dependable. But like YouTube, like I 100%, like as much as I shit on Slave Tech, whatever, like YouTube has the full archive, right?
Absolutely. And you better make a backup because they can.
I have
the
backup. I have everything.
Yeah.
For a while I was putting torrents up. Actually, you could download a torrent of everything.
Oh.
Because I believe all this should be available to everybody. And if they don't find it helpful, then don't listen. But it should be available to everyone for free. And then if they find value, they should donate.
I'm wondering how we can get the Zapstream like chats in these applications, because some people have been using StreamYard and they're like, how can I get my Zapstream chats in StreamYard? That would be kind of cool.
Well, that's why I'm like using the screen sharing basically is how I'm doing it, right?
Yeah, but they show those like the comments on the screen and they like go through them and they're like
they pick and choose. They pick and choose like who they like, right?
Yeah.
Like one of the beauty. I mean, I honestly think that is not a feature people want, because I think most streamers don't have the balls to have the live unmodified chat on screen. Because like if you're like a Peterson or something, where like the trolls are like destroying you and you just can't handle like cyberbullying. Like you're not willing to have. There's a reason why most shows are not live, unedited shows with a live chat display. Like to this day, I don't think anyone has tried to replicate the model of Dispatch, and it's because it's a little bit masochist, but also it's like a little bit too free for most people.
I think on StreamYard, like they're like selecting, which ones to show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're picking and
Yeah.
choosing their favorites. It's
But
like
they're
that
basically
doesn't
asking me
count.
like, how do I get the Zapstream comments in here so I can get them on screen?
Right, because on StreamYard and on Restream, like it pulls in YouTube and Twitch and the other
Yeah.
large ones. And so
Yeah.
then you can choose which ones you pull in.
Right.
Um
I don't know if
and
it's possible though with StreamYard and Restream.
I don't
They're
know how they
pretty,
do it. I think there's like some kind of chat API.
yeah,
But
they're
like
pretty locked down.
you have to ask their permission. Like StreamYard, like you have to reach out to StreamYard and be like, here's my API, like pull in my chats.
Yeah.
Like I used to, if you go back on Dispatch, like you can see the evolution of it. Like it used to be like Matrix. First of all, it used to be that Twitch and YouTube were the only ones shown because that's what Restream allowed me to do. And then I like figured out a way to do screen share to bring Matrix in. And then I figured out a way to do screen share to bring Noster in, but I was still doing the Twitch and the YouTube comments, but they were larger than the Nostr comments. And I didn't like that they were larger. I can do it right now. Most people don't comment but see how much larger it is?
Oh yeah.
That's ridiculous. Like they don't deserve that. They're not in the Nostr live chat. So I pull them out and now I just do the Nostr live chat alone.
There is no second best.
But that's the evolution of me playing around with the large streaming providers.
Bro, don't you even sign every single comment you write?
I do most usually.
On Nostr you do? That's for sure.
I do wonder about that. I mean, before we wrap, we've just been going. I told you we had a lot to talk about. You are very interesting, sir. I do. There is there's this like privacy concern that we're not considering, or that we are considering. Some of us are considering, but most of us aren't considering. That's like we're broadcasting all this stuff, all this
Right.
text, specifically on Nostr, all this text that is signed. Like
Yeah.
it's literally just like, this is definitely me, and we're
Right.
broadcasting it to the whole world. You can't delete it. Like there's a nip for deletes. Like you're not actually really deleting stuff.
I mean, you could never, if they're just scraping everything in real time, you have no chance, They have proof that you said it, even if you try
Yeah.
to delete it.
I think it's important for people to realize that it's a public broadcasting. Like people will know you said this,
Exactly, yeah.
and when you said it, and I hope people realize that's what they're doing when they're
There's a
on
risk.
Nostr.
There's a risk that comes with all this freedom.
Yeah. Yeah, freedom isn't free. Okay, dude. This was fucking awesome. So we're gonna do this often. Or I mean, not, it doesn't have to be often, like depending on what your definition of often is, but like I would like to have you on a reoccurring basis. Are we cool with that?
Sure.
Awesome. Thank you, Kieran. Do you have any final thoughts for the listeners before we wrap?
Watch this space. Always shipping. Thanks for watching. Some people watched. That's great. Yeah, I'm excited to just try out new things, try out Blossom, try out this, try out that, and kill as many centralized platforms as possible.
Let's fucking go. Well, I appreciate you, Kieran. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for everything you're building. Whether you believe it or not, you're a fucking legend. Huge shout out to the freaks who joined us in the live chat. You guys make the show unique. It would not be possible without you. And huge shout out to the freaks who continue to support the show using Bitcoin, whether that's through Podcasting 2.0 apps like Fountain or Breeze, or through Zapstream itself, which we discussed at length here. Your sats do not go unnoticed. They keep me going, particularly the messages. Fucking awesome. Our largest donations this week were from 8 Mithrander with 48,000 sats, Pringle Stacks with 22,000 sats, Gary Kraus with 20,000 sats, and JPEG with 15,000 sats. That's combined through Podcasting 2.0 and Zapstream. I appreciate you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Kieran. Keep building. You're a fucking boss.
There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly. What a field day for the heat. 1,000 people in the street, singing songs and a carry inside. Mostly say hooray for our side. It's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going now. Paranoia strikes deep into your life, it will creep. It starts when you're always afraid. Step out of line, the man come and take you away. We better stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going. We better stop now. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going. We better stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going. We better stop.
Love you, freaks. That track was For What It's Worth by Buffalo Springfield. Originally recorded in 1966. That was a remaster. You know, it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day, but this fight that we're a part of is a fight that has been going on for many fucking years. Decades and decades. I hope you guys enjoyed this rip. I sure did. I got a great rip lined up with Ben Ark tomorrow. Talk Ellen Bits, talk Noster. We're going to talk about all the things. Who the hell knows what we're going to talk about? That's at 1700 UTC, our usual time. I love